It's 2 in the morning, the city of Leeds. The peace is shattered as a stolen car smashes into a shop window. The thieves are after expensive widescreen televisions. What they don't realise is that they're on television themselves. Tonight we're in the north of England, keeping an eye on the streets with the Leeds Watch CCTV crew.
Going back down on 152.
Monitoring an estate under fire from rockets.
Blow up in your hand, you'll just swipe. Bang!
Where even the police come under attack.
We're going to pull to the bottom of the road, mate. This is not safe.
Watching out for the drunks and the disorderly. As the students get monstered for Halloween.
Look at him, he's got a pumpkin on his head.
More than 350 cameras cover the 240 square miles of this CCTV city. Leeds is Britain's third biggest city. 750,000 people live there. 100,000 more pour in every day to work. It's a major financial centre and has a massive student population. There's a pretty active criminal population too. Up against them, the West Yorkshire Police and a widespread CCTV setup.
CCTV has developed rapidly over the last few years. It's a fantastic tool that helps us investigate crime and bring some form of satisfaction and closure for the victim.
While the cameras silently watch the streets, 9 specially trained operators watch the cameras.
There you go. You're right under the camera now.
This is Leeds Watch HQ on the edge of the city, and this is the front line in the video war to keep our streets safe. And these are the warriors behind the cameras, the eyes and ears of the CCTV system. Operators like Linda and Dave here manage up to 10 monitors and can access up to 400 cameras in any one moment. When they spot trouble, they can zoom in and direct police straight to the scene. They're providing instant intelligence in the fight against crime. It's 2 in the afternoon and the city centre is crowded with shoppers. Dave has pointed his cameras at a market stall. He's not after bargains, he's got his eye on 2 shoppers.
At the moment, I'm following a couple around in the city because they're known as prolific beggars. So I'm just following them around, just to see if they're starting to beg again today.
But the man's got other plans for getting some cash. He grabs a distracted shopper's purse from the stall and makes a run for it, abandoning his companion.
Yeah, he's running down Commercial Street at the moment. Running like Linford Christie at the moment, down there. He's going up onto Briggate, so one of my colleagues is setting the cameras up next to me. He's off down King Edward Street at the moment with the purse neatly in his pocket.
Dave's pictures are being beamed directly to Police HQ, where officers can quickly decide what to do.
1-8, are you available for a priority robbery call, please, at front counter?
The thief has changed tactics and changed clothes too. Now he's wearing a grey top and he's casually strolling in an attempt to fool the cameras.
They've always got some spare clothing with them to change the appearance because they know there's a CCTV system in situ. But because there's 3 of us setting up the cameras, I've got 3 pairs of eyes watching him. He's actually sat down in the bookies, you can see him through the window, quite relaxed about what he's just done, which it's second nature to these sort of people. The PCSOs are being guided in by the area control room, and here they are, 2 female PCSOs and a police unit. And it looks like this male's going to be arrested for a theft.
But over the radio comes a different story.
He's saying, search me if you want. I've got nothing on me. You can tell by his mannerisms that he thinks he's got away with this one.
The police can't find the wallet.
He's saying, yeah, look, I've got away with it. Yeah, you've not got me this time. I'm going to keep him on camera because he thinks he's got away with it now, but I don't like the way that he's got away with it.
Dave is determined to catch the street robber.
This male's walking down Ludgate Hill, very, very nervous, looking behind him, make sure he's not being followed, but he doesn't realise that I've got him on camera. And he's just got that black purse out of his pocket now. He's having a look in now, see what there is that he's managed to pinch. Looks like there's a note of some sort and a pocket full of change that he's got. He's going to have a quick look through the zips and everything. And he's walking into the open market now.
Confident that he's got away with his crime, the thief dumps the wallet. But he's in for a nasty surprise. Some PCSOs, community support officers, are waiting for him. This time, Dave knows exactly where to find the evidence.
And he's found the purse, so that will be an arrest there, definitely. Which is really, really good, considering I thought he was going to get away with it.
The thief went to court and left with an 18-month community service order, and he had to pay compensation. For the CCTV team, it was a job well done.
It's a buzz. You get a buzz from actually getting somebody arrested for a crime that they've done.
Next, Halloween horrors as the cameras catch celebrations getting out of hand.
Stop struggling! Stop struggling!
While CCTV and police save a man who's had enough.
And then he looked down, threw his cigarette to the side, and then let go.
As night falls on Leeds, shadowy figures begin to emerge from the darkness. It's Halloween, and thousands of students from the city's universities and colleges are flooding into town, dressed for party time. At Leeds Watch, Dave Illingworth is getting geared up for an unusual night shift.
Look at him, he's got a pumpkin on his head.
That must be really sweaty and stinky, him, that. He's got a full pumpkin over his head. He'll not be able to get that off. We happen to have a pantomime horse on Cookery Street, which I find quite bizarre, really. Kick it. Here, come on and get on, have a ride.
Halloween is one of those times when the police and the CCTV operators are especially on alert.
Halloween can be a really busy night. As with most nights out, it's a really good atmosphere. Better than most nights because you get a lot of people dressing up.
Happy Halloween!
But as the night wears on, people tend to get a little bit more drunk, then things can get a little bit hairier for us.
The police are already on the lookout for one young punter who's taken the fun and games too far.
A lad's been winding police officers up, being quite abusive towards them by the looks of things. Unfortunately for him, he's dressed as a gladiator, so he's not quite as inconspicuous as you think.
I'm doing an area search at the moment with the cameras that we've got available in that area. As of yet, I've not picked him up. Halloween, there's thousands of students out there that are dressed up, so it's quite hard to pick out a man dressed as a gladiator when you've got thousands of different costumes.
If you were a gladiator, where would you hide?
Can't have got too far, can you?
I don't know, these gladiators can run.
In the build-up to Halloween, Leeds Watch operator Linda Croshaw is watching out for spirits causing trouble. Not ghosts or ghouls, just vodka. And this man has drunk too much of it.
Can't take his ale, he must be a southerner.
By now, the emergency services are stretched to the limit. They can't get there immediately.
A lot of people, when they've had a lot to drink, they don't realise just how vulnerable they are. I mean, you take the faculties away, and they're there, they've got the mobile phone, they've got the purse, and they're just a target. So I've now got him on my side monitor where I keep an eye on him. You know, you're watching everybody's back for them. Like big sister is watching ye.
Finding the Gladiator is turning into an epic struggle.
No, it's a clown.
Still can't see this Gladiator.
But police HQ are on the case. There's a sighting in the city centre. Once again, Dave and his cameras are on the scene first. By now, the Gladiator's not alone. He's been joined by a man dressed as a convict.
We're just running across the town hall now, followed by a police community safety officer on a bike. Gladiator's taking the lead at the moment. I think the PCSO's left his bike and he's chasing him on foot now. There's three PCSOs chasing him. It's quite surreal, is this? I mean, it's not often you see a man dressed up as a gladiator followed by two PCSOs. And he's quite a good runner in his costume as well. PCSO seem to be gaining on him now, towards the bottom of his parade.
This gladiator's been defeated. He's under arrest.
Two things, mate. Yeah, 3 to fuzzy. We're struggling, but we've got him cuffed.
I'm going to keep them on camera just in case this male kicks off again and starts abusing them or is a bit physical towards them.
What do you want me to do? Explain it. Lift his arms up. Joined in with kicking up there, I think.
His friend, the convict, is charged with obstructing the police.
Bizarre thing where we went to handcuff him, he already had his own pair of handcuffs on, so it saved us a big job.
Linda has been watching over the drunken clubber for over an hour. It's time for the emergency services to take over.
Hey up, pal. What's your name, mate?
I think he's going to be sick, but we're not quite sure about that.
Whoa, you're in not a good way, are you?
The actions of one gentleman that couldn't stop when his body had had enough. It's involved a police unit, at least 2 police officers, an ambulance, 2 ambulance officers, CCTV operator, just because he didn't know when to stop. Shady Shandy Southerner lad. Can't take his ale.
More calls are coming in, and this time it's a real emergency. On one of the highest bridges in the city, a man has called for urgent help. It's not for himself, but behind him, on the other side of the railings, someone is threatening to jump. Below the bridge is a 40-foot drop into the water.
At the moment, it just looks like he's stood with both arms behind him, holding onto the railings. Looks like it's either a friend or somebody he knows talking to him, trying to get him to come back over the bridge. In the course of my career, I've seen quite a few of these. Unfortunately, I've seen maybe 3 or 4 jump, which it's not a nice thing to see.
The situation is reaching crisis point. The police are there within minutes, but they mustn't scare the man, or he might carry out his threat.
If you race down towards him with your lights on and your sirens, it could scare him and he could just jump.
The CCTV in this situation will help because this has been shown up at the area control room, so maybe there's an inspector or a sergeant watching it and he can relay his thoughts and everything to these 2 officers, saying, look, back off if he's kicking off a bit, or grab him if you've got the chance. They might even phone for a force negotiator, which he'll try and talk him back over the bridge.
There's not much time left. The officers on the spot are sure this man is serious.
He was still having a cigarette at the time, sort of calm. When they're calm, it worries you a little bit more. because when they're erratic, a lot of the time it can be a cry for help. And then he just starts talking about things calmly. And then he looked down, he says, "That water's so tranquil." Threw his cigarette to the side and then let go. At that point, I've decided I've got to go, I've got to grab him or we're gonna lose him. I've gone and grabbed underneath his arms and pulled him back over.
And they've just grabbed him now and they're gonna drag him back over now. We've done a good job, police has done a good job. Now they're gonna put him under arrest and possibly take him back to the hospital.
After it had happened, my adrenaline, I was shaking. And the most happy thing for me was when the male said to me, "I was going to do it. You've saved my life. Thank you very much. You've saved my life."
CCTV is the ideal tool for dealing with that age-old problem which bedevils police work. You know the situation. 15 people at an incident, you've got 15 witnesses. You've also got 15 different accounts, none of which quite match up. With CCTV, the courts and the police can see it for themselves.
Incidents outside clubs cause particular problems. Linda knows that being a bouncer can be tough. She used to be the head doorwoman at one of Leeds' biggest clubs. There's a disturbance outside a city club tonight.
It's quite a, shall we say, an energetic ejection.
Linda is concerned about the way the bouncers are handling this situation.
Testosterone level must be very high down there. And now there's someone kicking off with door staff.
Some of the bouncers are joining in the brawl.
Bit of a fight going on outside.
Got a door staff on the floor now. 4 door staff to overzealous bouncers, would be calling that. Door staff dragging someone away with his hair. That was disgusting. Absolutely out of order. There were 4 door staff, the fists were in and the feet were in. It's what some people would call old school bouncing.
The police get there too late to see just what happened. And everybody has their own version of events.
He's assaulted, I went like that and I slipped. He's assaulted Gladiator and when I went...
This is often a problem that a number of witnesses will have different versions of events. CCTV is there really to protect everybody. It's truly independent and it gives a good, accurate version of events of what's happened.
I'll request a copy of the CCTV with regard to the conduct of the door staff. There'll be no persons arrested then for assault at this moment in time. And once I've viewed the CCTV, I'll be able to make a report.
The Leeds Watch team pull the tape out and show it to Inspector Jessup. Linda still can't believe what she's seen.
As an ex-door woman, it's not something that I would have tolerated myself for my lads to behave like that.
On the other side of town, a different set of bouncers have been demonstrating how it should be done. They've called in the police to help deal with a man who's causing trouble outside another club.
Hey, you've just booked yourself a nice taxi to the Bridewell. All right, mate, you're under arrest. Hey! Hey! Get your head down! No! Get your head down, you're under arrest! Hey! Don't bite me!
He's definitely been on something, because the way he's behaving, his immense strength, his shouting, his what he was saying, making no sense.
Get your arm behind your back!
His arm strength when we were trying to pull his arms behind his back to put the cuffs on was just immense, as if it wasn't him, as if he was like possessed.
Get on the floor, now!
I realised then that we had a problem.
Back in the control room, Dave is clocking the same incident. But his concern is the crowd of onlookers surrounding the police and fueling the flames.
As you can see, there's a large group dancing about. They're all drunk, all loving it and getting photographs and everything on their mobile phones.
There was a big group gathered around us and we were in danger.
No! No!
But luckily the CCTV guided in our colleagues and they came and helped us out and we got him into the van and away.
Get up! Get up! Get up!
Because we're covering it on CCTV, it will be very, very evidential in a court case to say that he's been struggling on the floor. There's been no assaults by the police.
He's just gone mental. So he's had to be restrained. And as you can hear now, he's in the back of the van, smashing his head off the side of the back.
Hey, go ahead.
What to do about the over-enthusiastic bouncers is still to be decided.
I've just watched this tape through once and it's being rewound by the operators for me. I'm able to see what's happened, and no matter how many people I would have asked, intoxicated or not, I don't think they would have been able to give such a vivid description so that I could clearly understand exactly what's happened. So to me, that's vital.
In the end, after watching the tape several times, police didn't press charges. CCTV, however, stopped the incident turning really nasty. The man who gave the police so much unwanted exercise got a caution for being drunk and disorderly. He was a bit embarrassed the next day.
And when he was told of what his behaviour was like last night, he couldn't believe it was him.
Gladiator first!
The Gladiator also paid a visit to the police cells. His friend was even dressed for the occasion.
Bringing a Gladiator and a convict in and to sit down and wait to be booked in is just a bizarre thing, and everybody came for a look.
And strip him naked.
The Gladiator was fined £300 with costs and compensation payments on top for assaulting a PCSO. His convict friend was fined £80 for disorder. Coming up, the feral kids and their firework weapons. Joyriders racing down Leeds roads.
He's not old enough to drive.
Arsonists on the attack. And police under assault. All in a bonfire night's work for Leeds Watch CCTV. In Leeds, they like their festivals. Any excuse to party, and Bonfire Night is no exception. The city's parks are packed with families enjoying the fun at safe and carefully controlled events. But there's little time in the Leeds Watch control room to take in the displays. Here, they're gearing themselves up for pyrotechnics of a different kind.
Tonight is Monday, the 5th of November, 2007, and I'm expecting fireworks.
An estate in the east of Leeds is under attack from a gang of hoodies. They're using fireworks to spread their own bonfire night mayhem. Leeds Watch are watching them closely.
All hell can break loose on Bonfire Night, because that's when the kids think, this is the night we go out, we just set fire to anything.
14 cameras have been installed to help protect the estate against the gangs of hoodlums. The police reckon that they've been pretty effective in cutting crime. But the cameras aren't protected from the yobs that will use fireworks to try and blow them up. West Yorkshire Police and their Leeds Watch allies have got a powerful weapon of their own in the war against the gangs. It's a mobile CCTV van, complete with control room in the back. It can follow the troublemakers to places where the fixed cameras can't go.
We've got 4 cameras on board this van. We've got 2 on the roof, which are called Metal Mickeys. Very good quality cameras, could get a good facial on someone from about 500 metres away. And then we've got a camera in each of the wing mirrors that's behind the mirror itself.
The amount of calls we have on a night like tonight just goes through the roof, and this is just a means of trying to get round them faster and cover more of the calls. This is a large council estate that has a lot of problems. You're always going to have lots of antisocial behaviour down there. A lot of the residents are deeply troubled by it and are upset by it and really want a better area to live in.
Back in the control room, Linda has spotted a gang of hoodies who are using fireworks as rocket launchers. They're firing at anything or anyone who gets in their way.
It's just hit that kid with that. You can see with houses, they have got the lights on, they've got the doors firmly shut, and they're not coming out. Blow up in your hand, you little swipe. Bang!
These youths are quickly getting out of control. They're lighting fires dangerously close to people's houses.
That's plastic, that's a wheelie bin or something.
Some of the gang get in a car. Linda follows in case it's a stolen vehicle.
Young kid, he's not old enough to drive. He was driving a car on a public road where he could have hurt someone. He's not insured, he's not taxed, he's not anything. He's not a driver that's passed his test, so we're assuming that he can't drive. We've just picked up on a car and it was driven by a youth that looked about 12 years old. He's got the keys and he hooded up when he came back out. He's shoved it in this car door, in this driveway.
As the evening wears on, more and more reports come in about fires on the estate. The video van is going to be busy.
Within a 50-yard stretch, I've got an underage driver, a wheelie being set on fire and a car being set on fire. It wouldn't take you 2 minutes to walk from one to last.
And just make sure that they're safe.
Dealing with the young car thieves will have to wait. Making the area safe is the police's first concern.
You can't have his fire out, you know. It's bonfire night.
It's going to get put out, mate.
Right.
Yeah, go on, mate.
While the youths are distracted, Paul uses the video van to record those who are at the bonfire. He's seeing if he can spot the car thieves.
When we get to an area where an incident's happening, first thing I'll do is jump out of the driver's seat and then man the cameras, film what's going on in the area, get decent shots of the individuals in and around the area just in case they were later on linked with the incident in question.
Linda's cameras are pointing towards the other end of the road. She's watching a youth drinking alcohol and generally acting suspiciously.
He's very close to where all the police are, and he's ducking and diving at the moment. He's on edge and he's aware that cameras watching him as well.
Linda alerts the police. This could be the underage driver.
Top at footpath down to Avenue. He's going to go down footpath, trying to guide him into these youths. Tell him to go straight down, past them, and to the next cul-de-sac bit is there. Watch these run now. Here they go. Every time they get a whiff at police car, they're away.
Yeah, right on now, down here, yeah? Is that where I'm going to be? Is it going to be down here?
Where's it gone? Where's it gone? See, he's up there. He's there.
All right, chap, just against there.
PCSO Sean Taylor knows that the CCTV tape shows this youth with a bottle of alcohol. But does he have the keys to the stolen car? If so, they've got their man.
Right. You're being searched for the possession of alcohol, mate. Right. Because I don't believe you to be 18, and based on what I've been told, I believe you're in possession.
A bottle is found.
That's going to be mine.
But no keys. There's some consolation in a message from Police HQ where they've been watching the CCTV live in the control room.
At this moment in time, we're not in a position to identify the driver, but the passenger, one of the passengers, has been identified, and the police know who he is, and they can go and find him tomorrow. They know who he is.
The police are leaving the scene.
Yeah.
The fires are out and the troublemakers have scattered for now.
As the uniforms withdraw, then they'll slowly come back out again. They're like wood lice.
On another part of the estate, more youths are causing trouble. This time their weapons aren't fireworks, they're bricks.
It's fairly large, looks like house bricks, or even half an house brick. You just never know what the intended target's going to be.
At one time, as when I was a kiddie, if an adult told you, oh, behave, you know, get your sent off home, you would go. But if an adult turned around and said to these lads, oi, behave, get off with that, they'd turn on them like a pack. The kids are going feral.
Stoning a property. Well, they're stoning each other, maybe, actually. I think they're actually aiming at each other as opposed to property. I just missed him, and that were a fairly decent-sized rock. If that did connect, consequences could be fairly serious.
There's a lot of CCTV up there now, as such, and since it went in, the whole area has quietened down tremendously. Hopefully, we're taking it back from the feral kids.
CCTV isn't just about catching hoodies or drunks, and it can't pry into people's lives willy-nilly. There are strict rules governing the use of the cameras. For instance, the cameras can't linger on an innocent person unless the operator has a suspicion that something is wrong. And it can't peek into anyone's homes unless invited. A 999 call could be the trigger.
This case was a CCTV classic. Calls are coming in from a woman claiming she's been beaten up by her boyfriend. Because they've received a distress call, Leeds Watch can use the cameras to look into the house.
Because of data protection issues, we're not allowed to routinely monitor people's houses unless we're aware of information that there's an ongoing crime. Then obviously we need to utilise the cameras to see exactly what's going on. Once the officer had arrived at the premises, they was informed by the female complainant that she'd been assaulted by a boyfriend. That resulted in the boyfriend being arrested. He was then taken to the police station, and because he was unfit to be interviewed, he was lodged in a cell for the night to be dealt with the following morning.
It would seem an open and shut case, but before the officers arrived, the CCTV saw what the police did not. The actual attack taking place. And it's not by her boyfriend.
They saw a female stood in the kitchen of the house, enticing another female to actually physically assault her. She then, because the injuries didn't appear to be serious enough, actually coerced her into assaulting her again. And because we were made aware that it wasn't the boyfriend that had actually assaulted the girl, it was one of her friends, we were then able to drop any charges against the boyfriend, which obviously proves that the system not only works to catch criminals, it also can show that people have not committed crime, as in this case.
Back on Bonfire night, the official celebrations are over. But at the estate, the fires are still burning. Children as young as 8 are playing with fire and their lives.
I bet these youngsters are in school tomorrow.
They've relit the bonfire, but that's not all. In the control room, PCSO Aaron Tolley has noticed another suspicious car.
With this job, you develop a gut instinct about things. I saw the particular vehicle pull onto the street, and my immediate reaction was something not quite right about the vehicle.
The video van is going to check it out and stop any more joyriding.
Just pull here, I want to go and have a look in.
Charlie Sierra 741, go ahead.
But they need to be careful. At this time of night, the estate is especially dangerous. All camera teams are on high alert for any signs of trouble. The stakes are getting higher. The suspicious car has already been broken into.
All the windows are open and somebody's barrelled the steering lock, so it would appear as if it's been taken without the owner's consent. So we're going to arrange recovery for it now.
There's danger. Someone's throwing bricks. Big ones.
Yeah, we've just taken 2 or 3 bricks from somewhere. I've no idea where they came from.
They were some of the biggest ones I've ever had thrown at me. They were sort of breeze block size.
It's wet.
The kids that lit the bonfire aren't the ones throwing stones. No one can work out where the danger is coming from.
Just behind where the fire is, there's an abandoned building there, and they're going right back to there. That's where they look like they're coming from.
Do not approach, mate. In view of the size of stones we're taking, we're safe in the van, but you will not be safe approaching the area, mate.
I was far too busy to be scared. It's only afterwards when you sit and think about it, when you think, that could have come through the window.
We're going to pull to the bottom of the road, mate. This is not safe.
I made the decision for safety grounds to pull off about 100, 150 metres where we could still keep the vehicle filmed, but hopefully we're out of the range of the people who were throwing the bricks and stones at us.
As the van pulls away, the identity of the brick throwers is clearer. They could be car thieves come to collect their prize.
The Peugeot that the officers were looking at has just driven off.
The main reason that Sean was under fire from bricks and breeze blocks was with the main intention of just getting that vehicle out of there and away.
Keeping pursuit will be difficult. The driver knows he's on CCTV and is doing his best to avoid it.
The guy's gone into an area where we've absolutely no coverage whatsoever, so all we can do is try and anticipate where he's going.
The youths and criminals on that estate know where cameras are, know where they can go, and they've been brought up on the area so they know where to leave. But fortunately, we've managed to get other units in the area, and traffic cars quickly located it, and a follow began.
Reports are coming in that the car is on the main road heading into Leeds.
There it goes.
He's driving at speed and is on the wrong side of the road.
I hope no one dies from this now.
When the high-speed chase occurred and I heard that they were going the wrong way down the A64, I started to question our actions as to whether us moving was actually a good idea, because of course someone could have been killed.
Once again, the car drives out of range of the cameras. The thieves' escape attempt has taken an unexpected turn.
We just heard it over the radio now that the vehicle's been found abandoned in an area where we have completely no coverage whatsoever.
When it came through on the radio that the car had been recovered without anyone being injured, I was extremely relieved.
Yeah, you can see which wasn't there when we initially saw it. There's a very large 50-inch screen TV. The rest of the damage is very much as we saw it the first time. It's obviously been used in a burglary somewhere in the area, and obviously we upset them when we were parked in front of it. Somebody will get the car back, somebody will get the telly back, and nobody's been hurt, so it's a happy ending.
A few days later, an arrest was made, but there wasn't enough evidence against specific individuals to press charges. The 2 women caught faking a domestic assault pleaded guilty to perverting the course of justice and were sentenced to 150 hours community service each. Coming up, cameras cracking car crime as the Leeds Watch team go head-to-head with this city's biggest scourge. ...2 a.m. The Leeds Watch cameras have picked up on a gang of ram raiders determined to smash this store's defences. The barrier grills are holding, but the goods inside are faring less well. The car that they're using as a battering ram was stolen at knife point earlier.
One of the cars was being unloaded off a vehicle loader to be delivered at a garage, and the villains turned up with a knife and threatened the owner of that vehicle and made off with the keys and the car.
This was not the first time they've been caught on camera. This ruthless gang's raids have already cost shop owners over £1 million in damage and theft. And their crimes are getting bolder. They don't care who's watching. Nothing will stand in their way.
This was an organised group who knew precisely what they were doing. They committed over 65 offences that we could identify, and I'm sure there's more that we haven't identified.
This time the prize is expensive flat-screen TVs, but they're so big they can't even fit in the boot. And that's not their only problem.
2 members of the team came out to see a police officer with a dog arriving. And the third one, unfortunately, fell on some rubble and got stuck under a plasma screen television.
The Ram Raider might be driving like a lunatic, but the police can keep a safe distance because the cameras can keep an eye on the vehicle.
There's not only CCTV in the city centre, there's also CCTV along the outskirts of the centre, and the villains were followed through a course of the journey right up to an outskirts suburb of Leeds.
And their recklessness leads to ruin. The car spins out of control and the thieves are arrested. The Ram Raiders are at the extreme end of vehicle theft. More conventional car crime used to be the city plague.
I like to patrol car parks because you get quite a lot of people looking in cars and doing the side windows to steal goods that people have bought. So they'll have a look. If there's somebody walk past, they'll duck back and then they'll have another look. And if you're on the ball, you'll ring it in before they even break a window.
Most robbers, however, wouldn't want to set off the alarms. Or get caught on camera. And in this case, escape is futile too.
Car crime is a blight on the lives of victims and a waste of police time. One estimate put Leeds in the worst 5 cities in the UK for vehicle offences. But the police are fighting back, and with the help of CCTV, they're winning.
96,000 vehicles enter Leeds city centre during the morning period. We at present record approximately 2 to 3 offences a day. Years ago that might have been 10 or 12, so we've seen a dramatic reduction in car crime. Some of that is down to CCTV evidence that it's catching people committing the offences when there's no police office about.
In Leeds, vehicle theft has decreased by 20% over the last year. Theft from cars by even more. So there's no let up on car thieves, even if, like these ones, once they've damaged your car door to get in, they pummel it back into shape. Caught on camera, they can't get away, and CCTV guides an unmarked police car straight to the spot. These car thieves received 12-month community service orders and were placed on curfew for 6 months. The hapless car park robbers were convicted and given sentences ranging from hefty fines to 3 months behind bars. The ram raiding gang admitted conspiracy to steal and commit burglary. The severity of their crimes was such that they were given a combined sentence of over 25 years in jail. CCTV is now recognised as a vital tool in the war against crime.
My opinion is I'd have a camera on every corner of every street in the country if we could afford it. Cameras never rest, they're on 24/7, 365 days a year. If I was getting mugged or robbed, I'd want something caught on camera, to have it on tape for somebody to have a look at and take that person off the street and lock him up.